Hi, Kat here for Lightwave Digital. In this video, we're going to be talking about some of the remaining light types that exist in Lightwave that we haven't covered just yet. So let's take a look at our Photographer's Cove Simple Primitives demonstration scene. And I'm going to select our spotlight back here. And we're going to choose a different light type called Ngon. All right, now an Ngon is very similar to an area light, except you can control how many sides it has. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. Let's go and turn off the other lights in the scene that we've got right now so that we can see just this on its own. So we're going to call that the rear spot. The rear spot's there, so I've got it selected. And right away, you can see in OpenGL kind of what this light is doing. But to really see it in action, we need to turn on VPR. Now, very similar to an area light, as I said. You can make it visible to camera. It will also affect volumetrics. Let's go and hit Control P for the render panel. Let's use volumetric scattering. And now you can see that the light itself is kicking off volumetrics. Very generic setting right now, of course. But it will kick off light in that shape. And as I said, very similar to an area light, it functions very much the same for scaling. Kind of scaled it a little bit too far down there. So the smaller it is, the more intense and focused. The larger it is, the more smooth and spread out. Let's put the volumetric intensity at 10 so it's not so blown out on us. And like area lights, it also supports a function called portal. Portal is something that we will discuss in another video, but it's intended for use with environment lights and a environment where you kind of have your scene enclosed in a box, but you've got windows. That's what portal lights are for. They help concentrate an environment light going through the window with the additional rays that get thrown through it rather than just the ones that are being generally thrown by the environment light. That's the most simple explanation that I can give at the moment, but you can look that also up in the manual, but I will do a demo on that in a bit. Now, the Ngon light, of course, if you just have one as a sides, it'll become a circle. Let's turn the effect volumetrics off so we can see what it's doing here. So if you need a circular light, really easy way to do it is just to turn it into an Ngon and poof, sides one, ready to go. Anything below 3 will turn it into a circle. 2 is not supported. That would obviously just be a linear light if you needed one, but 3 is kind of cool because you can make a triangle. Or if you need a pentagon, which is the default, or an octagon. But it'll throw light very similarly to an area light. Now, another light type is primitive. Let's go and take a look what that does for us. We're going to use primitive, and we need to select an actual object in the scene. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the box. And this light can be positioned anywhere, but its shape is based off of the box that we have in the scene. Now, it doesn't have to be a box, and it doesn't have to just be a single object that doesn't really have much going on to it. It can be a very sophisticated shape, and it's actually a great object type if you have lights for like running lights on a starship, or you have lights in a coliseum or a stadium, and you want to turn them all into a lighting object, you can do that. If you need headlights and you got some filaments in there, you can have those separated as a separate layer and turn them into lights, and they will work appropriately. As we discussed with the IES lights or photometric lights in another video, you can use those as well, working with the IES properties. But if you actually want to use geometry, the primitive light is your go-to for that. Much easier than actually modeling something out and trying to turn it into a luminous object that's contributing via radiosity through the luminous values. Here you can just grab the object, turn it into a light, and crank it up. These also behave similarly to area lights and Ngon lights in terms of if they're scaled down, their intensity will change, and their samples for how noisy they get will be affected. All right, thanks for watching.